Good morning. It is the week of Thanksgiving. A whole nother year has actually gone. We're getting ready for Christmas. I hope everybody is okay. Hope everybody doing well. Hope you had some fun this week or this past week. I hope you had some fun this week. I don't know how many people are traveling to see loved ones and fellowship and so forth, or just sit at home and do nothing. Um, but nevertheless, you are here. You are back with us, and we're glad to have you back. I want to give shout out to our members um, that joined us last week. Want to make sure we honor you all on our shows and so forth. And I hope you bring others along with you. You can see I lost my voice, so I'm not sick or nothing like that. Is D gave me a bad mix of alcohol. That's what it was. That's what we're going with. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. So shout out to Linda and Rhonda that joined us out on adventures and so forth. And happy birthday to one of our members, Linda. And if we have missed your birthdays this year, um, I'm sure we missed a lot of people's birthdays this year in November. But shout out to everybody who had a birthday this year and you was actually able to see your birthday. What's going on, Nick? How you doing, Miss Phoenix? How you doing? I hope everything is well with you all. And I guess I should say good morning to D. She's in the back. I guess I should say good morning. All right. So again, if you don't know who we are, we're Women in Linux. I'm Tameika. Some people call me Tam. Long story short, if people couldn't pronounce my name, I have no idea why. So they will always call me Tameika. So it got shortened to Tam because that was easy. So that's where that came from. And then actually one of my nephews gave me that. So yeah, you know how that goes. All right. And Dee's in the background, doing her thing. I'm sure she's gonna type in the chat something smart, something witty, something funny. But nevertheless, Dee's in the back. All right. If you don't know who we are, we're Women in Linux. You can find us at womeninlinux.org. Once you get to womeninlinux.org, if you want to connect with us on Slack, hit the connect tab. Once you get there, just type in your email address, and you'll get notified and so forth. Oh, you got your hoodie. Oh, good, good, good. It's comfy, huh? Yep, I told you the hoodie was comfy. I rock with it through the airport, so um, it's great for a plane ride. Um, if you want to learn with us, I always skip over this, but if you want to learn with us, we have meetups every week. On Meetup, you can find us on meetup.com/women in Linux. And you can learn with us every Wednesday and every other Thursday. And of course, on Saturdays, you see us here on YouTube, but it's not as personal as it is on the weekdays where we're actually whipping out our command line and walking through how to set up Linux boxes, what is Linux, just really more so hands on, getting you job ready. And studying for the RHCSA, we just ended that, but I need to do an overview of the 124 and the 134. So if you want to get the overview this Wednesday, I think we got one scheduled this Wednesday. Don't quote me. I got to double check that. And somebody let me know in the comments if you see something on. I don't know if we canceled it or not. I can't remember. But again, it's all hands on training. From the level of, hey, here is the command line. This is SSH. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. So we cover all of that. The next thing on this website, if you want to shop, you heard Miss Phoenix or you read Miss Phoenix say she got her sweatshirt. Again, if you click all products, you'll see here the sweatshirts, hats, and so forth. I have my mug here with some green, no, it's just peppermint tea, um, ready to go. And as well as any stickers and so forth. I wanted a jogging suit. I don't know if D could get one or not, but that's what I wanted. All right. Next thing up is donating. right? So again, you don't have to donate with money. You can donate with your time in terms of spreading the word, retweeting, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, become a member. Also, as well, make sure you contribute in other ways, such as maybe you want to run a class, maybe you want to teach something you learned, or maybe you want to share some information with the group, in detail. And it doesn't have to be a whole 30-minute, 40-minute presentation. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 15, it could be 20. It gives you your chance to shine and also show other community members what you're doing. Uh, no need to study alone when you have a whole community to study with. If you're studying alone, you're studying wrong. All right. And last but not least, on the donate, you can always say, I don't want to do any of that. I don't like any of y'all, but I like what you're doing. I don't like people. You can always donate to PayPal. All right. So there you have it. All right, let's get rolling here, because we got a couple of things I want to talk about. All right, so on the cybersecurity side, we're gonna open up with that. Have you ever heard of dark launching? Right, so it's a way to test features in production before going live. Well, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because training with Honeycomb. Remember, I talked about Honeycomb with Liz Fung a couple of weeks ago. Well, she's going, not she's going, but Honeycomb has some training with a company called Launch Darkly, which is the reason why I mention it is called the security test is dark launching, and they have a company that they partner with called uh, Launching Darkly. All right. And so with Launching Darkly, you can see here there's cybersecurity, learning with Honeycomb, with cybersecurity and observability from the 13th through the 15th of 2021. And here's again Liz Fong, principal developer advocate at Honeycomb. Intro to observability with Honeycomb workshop. They also have open telemetry, distributed tracing. These are more on the SRE side, um, honeycomb metrics, pipelines, and so forth. So that's on the 14th, and then on the 15th, they have Circle CI, honeycomb and Circle CI, and again Launch Darkly, honeycomb and Launch Darkly, and PagerDuty. You've heard of PagerDuty, New Relic, Datadog, along those lines, and so forth, right? So again, check it out. Maybe something you may be interested in. I believe this is free, so it gives you a little insight to a startup that is. I think they're on Series A, and they went at 50 million. So let me look up TechCrunch, and let's look up Honeycomb. I think they went in at 50 million. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing? Good morning. All right. Okay. See, this was 2019. So 11.4. I think recently they just went at 50 million. Let me see. Let's go in the past year. Maybe not. Let's go back. I think it was 50. Let me double check myself. I talked about it in the past month. I have to go back to my notes. If somebody finds it, let me know. I think it was 50 million for Honeycomb. Um, see Series A. Don't get me the line. All right, if somebody can find it, let me know. But I think it was a Series A, and I think they were at 50 million for Series A. All right, so that's that. All right, so I was looking this morning, and I was like, okay, everybody always talks about moving, and they always talk about, well, where should I move to, right? Now we're gonna get into the tech stocks, but I want to get these things out here. So I found this link. This is from March 16th of the most affluent small cities in America. All right, so let me blow this up. All right, so we have from 10,000 to 30,000 residents. And it says among the 50 cities, 10 to 30,000, the range of the median incomes range from 163 to 250. And household incomes among the top 50 cities were 187,000. California and Virginia had the most cities in this population range, each with 10, followed by New Jersey and with 7, and New York and Illinois with 5. So here we go. We have Hillsborough County, California. I guess when Winteca or when Wintaka or Wintaka, Illinois, Wintaka. I guess I'm not sure. Short Hills, and you can see here, right, with the median household income. And this was 2019 pre-pandemic, right? So we probably had some shift in these. I don't think too much of a shift though. Not in incomes at this level, right? So then you get down here to 30 to 50,000, and then you have the income levels. But you can see the median households right here. McLean, everybody should be familiar with the DMV area as far as those salaries go, right? But down here, from 50 to 100,000 residents, you get a little bigger, right? And so you can see that the numbers kind of go down here. But that's the doubling and so forth. D can drop this link if you're interested in this. I just found it interesting for those that are looking for, like, okay, well, I want a small city to move to, or I don't want to be around a big population of people, but I also don't want to be in the woods either. I don't want to be, in the woods. And some people may want to be in the woods, but I just thought I found it interesting, so you can see like what the median income is. So what I would do with this information is I would go to these cities, right, and then I would search on um, even the federal government, or better, really more on the state, on the local level side, and look at the 10-year plan for those cities to see, what areas are people gonna be moving to next, what areas are they investing in, and then from there look to see what jobs are available in those areas, and then also looking at the real estate in that area in terms of multifamily or commercial or so forth. And then this gives you the like, oh, okay, if I move to that area, I don't have to break the bank, but I get a chance to actually see like what I can invest in, or I may not move. I may get some investors and look at what's going on in that area. But at least you know what the median income is in the area, so that what that gives you in terms of real estate is a buyer list. This is not financial advice. I want to give that disclaimer. Uh, these are just these. This is just how I would look at it at that area, and then see what jobs are in the area as well too. Right, and what's coming in that area. Do they have any type of sanctions, like when Amazon moved to Alexandria, or I should say Crystal City. They're right there together. That was that's what I saw. Yeah, I know, but it's gotten congested. Yep. What's going on, Eldon? How you doing this morning? So just Lee could, not Lee, but D could drop the link if you're interested in that information and you just want to do a deeper dive on those cities, and what companies are in the area to afford to pay these salaries, right? For a median household in Great Falls, Virginia, at 238, right? That's the median, right? So that means there's some salaries higher than that, and there's some salaries lower than that. But to have a median income of 238 for a household is a nice piece of change for a family, depending on your habits, your spending habits, right? All right, so this week in tech stocks and jobs, let's get this thing on here. I don't know if you all saw this one, but Ford has decided to enter the chip business. Um, why not? Right? They already have the manufacturing capacity They already make cars, right? They already understand, um, you know, how to run a line pretty much. So why wouldn't they enter the chip industry and create their own chips as well too for their own cars? Maybe sell their chips to someone, creating more jobs here in the states. Hopefully, why not enter? All right. So let me blow. I'm blowing up the wrong screen. All right. Let's see. There we go. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Ford and General Motors are looking to get into semiconductors after a year of computer chip shortages. So this stops their lines, stops their cars from being delivered and so forth. Delivered. General Motors later said is forging ties with some of the biggest names in semiconductors, including Qualcomm, NXP Semiconductors, NV, and has agreements in place to co-develop and manufacture computer chips. The moves are the latest examples of how the pandemic-related disruptions are prompting companies to exert greater control over their supply chains. Remember now, the supply chain is a big thing now. Here's something I found out this week. Well, I knew about it, but from a different perspective, right? In terms of supply chain with the meat, like situation, there should be a meat shortage going on, and this is from talking to a rancher this week that's out in Colorado, and and one of the things she stated was, um, our packing, our meat facilities are owned basically by China, right? And so the some of the American companies are getting together to form a union so they can keep, because what all China is doing is buying the meat and sending it back to their people, right? So they're trying to get together now and keep the meat here in America. So just something to think about, not in terms of just the meat shortage, but the supply chain, like where we get stuff from. What does that look like? How can you get involved? What can you do? Like if you own some land or something like that, put a facility on there where you lease it out to somebody to keep a product inside the states or something of that nature. Just something to think about. Good morning, Bill. How you doing? Good morning, Ken. I hope I'm saying this right. Ken Joe. I hope I said that right. Or is that J and H? But let me know either way it go. Good morning. All right. So again, it says business have continued to face shipping delays, trucking bottlenecks, prompting them to rethink the geography of their supply. So I hear geography, I hear where stuff located, where land of their supply, and giving priority to strategies that ensure reliability over outsourcing models of the past, right? And it goes on into the chip industry a little bit more about it. It's a long article here. I won't read all of this for you. D can drop this link and you all can have go into it. But this from the Wall Street Journal, so it should be okay with that, right? Should be okay with looking that up. All right. So let me stop this thing from coming on. All right. So next one up is Mercedes, and I have two other YouTube clips here, and I'm gonna pull them up after this one. So here, this came out in July, and I think you all have seen me talk about this about Mercedes entering the quantum computing. Let me get on my joint here. Right, I'm liking the whole ad thing. Right, but anyway, Mercedes-Benz is exploring the quantum computing. Now, I showed you this before about Mercedes-Benz entering the quantum computing space, and with the here this is the EQA, but again, with IBM, and then I know you all saw the announcements this week with IBM and the 127 quantum computer that they announced this week. If you haven't, um, I won't go into a deep dive. I think I may have some information in here about it, but I don't think I did. I don't think I covered it because it was so widely used. But as you can see here, what this actual car looks like, right? As we're marching towards the EV cars. So AI and quantum computing are AI, machine learning, quantum computing, and cybersecurity are going to be your big things, right? Advertisements, ads, chips, um, the, processors, like speeding up things, it's getting stuff and information to people as fast and as quick as they can. So you see that here, right? With the new electric cars, and you're going to continue to see this as people start to innovate a lot more. And again, don't forget, and I keep trying to tell you how to correlate some of these things. Don't forget these ESG funds, because now we're talking about climate control. They're looking at these new ESG funds, which will spawn off new startups to be the next $1 trillion industry. So as you see, people are starting EV, chip making, manufacturing, delivering, supply chain. They all come together. They all work together as a system. So you have to figure out where in this system, which involves tech, do you want to be. It's not all tech, but it's tech is a part of it, right? So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's go to these other two YouTube links that I had. See, what was this one? Oh, okay, yeah. All right, so this right here, when I was looking at this, I wanted you all to understand the real cost when it comes down to cybersecurity, which is again the supply chain being interrupted is a part of the cybersecurity. Did you all see this week where people were talking about Zelle? And Zelle, they used Zelle before, but Zelle went back into people bank accounts and was taking money from people, like $3,500, $1,500, and so forth. Did y'all see that from Zelle? Let me see. We can do a search right here. Well, let's do a search here. Zelle, um, stolen money. All right. See, scam targeting Bank of America Zelle users steals thousands, and it's been happening for a while. And one of the big things is some of the people are not able to get their money back, like because somebody on the end of Zelle, and I'm assuming Zelle is probably a third party from the bank, right? So just again, when we're talking about these ransomware, excuse me, cybersecurity and so forth, supply chain are always going to be at the forefront. Let me see what this other one was that I was looking at. See, this was okay. Top NFTs for the week. I didn't want to get into crypto, but I kept this up because it was a big conference. Well, the Solana conference was happening, and NFTs were being talked about all week. So I wanted to make sure I had that information. D can drop this link. You can check this video out, which was a good video to actually keep up with and listen to. So check those out. All right. So IPOs. Here we go. All right, inserting and replacing SoundHound, global leader in voice and AI technology, to become publicly traded through proposed merger with, I guess you could say, Archimedes TechSpec. SoundHound, independent voice AI platform built on proprietary natural language technology. Remember, I talked about natural language processing, enables business to deliver best in class conversational experiences to customers across 22 languages. Voice AI is projected to be $160 billion market uh, opportunity, and SoundHound is at the forefront of helping brands build differentiated voice-enabled experience that grow customer loyalty and deliver value. Right. So who's in the market right here? The voice experience in the leading global brands: Hyundai Hyundai, Mercedes Benz, Pandora, MasterCard, Telekom, Snap, Vizio, Kia, and Stellantis, among others. Transaction value somehow at the performer enterprise value of approximately $2.1 billion, and provides up to $244 million in gross proceeds, right? So SoundHound, right? So let's go look at SoundHound. Let's go look at the technology behind them. Let's go look at, let's see, do they have like an about? Let me see, do they have their people on here? Mission. Okay, here they go. CEO, co-founder, products, COO, CFO, CTO, vice president of people and culture. Here's their global presence, where they're at. Let's go and hit careers. Let's see roles. All right. Let me see what this looks like for you. Is this small? It's a little small. Oops. Keep hitting the wrong thing. Mhm. All right. Here we go. All right. So technical recruiter, Santa Clara, conversational AI software engineer. They have it in several different languages. Then they have a director of engineering for conversational AI. Let's take a look at that one. Data programs, engineering, server side, student engineer, corporate controller, marketing, a CTO, people culture, global compensation lead. Not sure what a global compensation lead does, but let's look it up. Director of product management, software engineer, senior software engineer, research and development cross platform, research and development leadership, research and development machine learning, server side engineering, talent acquisition, and workplace operations. Right? So they have an SRE, and then they got right here distributed systems. Let's look at these two. These are server side. Anyone else that's interested in machine learning and natural language processing. Um, I normally find natural language processing in the master's programs. If you're interested, I don't think they're undergrad. I think they're more master's related. All right, director of engineering and conversational AI. Let's see, multidisciplinary core approaches to develop solutions to the core of problems in conversational AI, mentor and create development opportunities for individual teams, attend weekly engineering meetings led by the CTO and the director. You have a track record, so forth and so on. Let's jump down here. It doesn't give any. Oh, here it is right here. 10 years of experience, a bachelor's degree in computer science or equivalent. Looks like they're looking more for leadership. You have a track record of individual technical accomplishments. Looking more here for leadership than anything. So someone may be interested in it. All right. Global compensation lead. Let's see, you're responsible for managing the company's compensation function, including design development, related compensation support, analysis of program effectiveness, contribute to overall employer brand and employee value proposition, own and implement a robust compensation infrastructure inclusive of job architecture, market and pricing approach, and compensation tools. You have a 7 years of progressive experience in compensation management, a strong business acumen. You have the ability to communicate complex information and concepts succinctly and in a straightforward manner. I don't know. I've never heard of this before. You may be interested in that. SRE, we've touched on this before. I won't go over everything, but you can see Python, Go, PagerDuty. We talked about that. Kafka, um, GCP, AWS. They got a multi-cloud strategy here. Non-relational databases and stuff. Oh, it's an HR job. Okay. Senior software engineer. Um, see, build scalable systems responsible for directly driving in an in-app user experience, refactor code, mentorship, code reviews, build web services, utilizing Kubernetes and public cloud infrastructure. This is a senior software engineer, distributed systems, Go, Java, BS, MS, MySQL, third party APIs, data sets, Kubernetes, nothing we haven't seen before. But I've seen a lot of jobs now. When you are Kubernetes or you understand Kubernetes and automation, I have seen this put under software engineer a lot, which notifies a shift to me, which notifies a shift between DevSecOps, SRE, as a combination, and then a software engineer being able to do that. Um, I see this shift a lot in terms of titles. So I find this very interesting, and it's something I think you should flag in the market, as you'll probably see DevSecOps, SRE combined, and they'll just go back to calling that maybe a software engineer. But typically software engineers don't use Terraform or some automation tools, but I think we're gonna see a change. Just something I would flag in the market to make yourself aware of it when you're on your job search and you're trying to figure out how to search for jobs. Software engineer, and then put something like this behind it: distributed systems or automation or infrastructure, and you'll start seeing a shift in the job. So I'm seeing that shift a lot. So just something to be aware of. All right. Next thing up, we talked about SoundHound. Let's go here. Oops, didn't get everything. Oh yeah, I left the HR. Hold on. All right. So here, and SoundHound hasn't gone public yet. So, all right. So this one right here was AI is learning how to create itself. AI is learning how to create itself. Yeah, I'm saying software engineers are going to, from what I'm seeing, software engineer is going to be another title in which infrastructure, automation, um, and DevSecOps is going to. I've seen this come up, so I'm saying that may be just another way to do a job search. Um, I wouldn't put it past software engineers to learn automation tools um, as time moves forward. I thoroughly see that. I just see it all coming together. It's not going to be your DevSecOps engineer. You're not going to be a SRE. You're not going to be a software engineer. You're just going to, they're not going to be separate. They're probably going to fall under an umbrella of software engineer. That's just what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing from certain jobs that I've seen come my way when it comes down to what do you actually do as a software engineer? Oh, you want me to build out your infrastructure and title that under senior software engineer. Um, no, I don't do AI development on my job, but I do build infrastructure for AI development, basically the platform for AI development. So, and that could be in any cloud or on-prem or what have you. So, like I say, when we talk about uh, infrastructure, DevSecOps, to me, it's the sweet spot between any driven technology. Is the sweet spot for natural language processing, high performance computing, quantum computing, AI, machine learning. It's just a sweet spot that allows you to have your hands in what's going on, but not actually have to understand how to uh, build anything for AI, machine learning, or and when I say that, like using maybe a Python library or a Go or a Java library or something like that. You don't have to know how to do that. You just need to understand, hey, I scaled this infrastructure up, this AKS, GKE cluster, and I'm hitting memory outage or it's not the right processor or something like that. So looking at it from that perspective. So that's where the sweet spot is. And that's why I say, like with quantum computing, if you want to get in that game, DevSecOps is an easy way to get into it. Cybersecurity is another easy way to get it. It's the sweet spot because it's just people are always going to build pipelines to deploy applications. And you're going to always build infrastructure to get those applications deployed to somebody's cloud or on even an on-prem cluster or what have you, or a private cloud that's with OpenShift, that is with let me see, not just OpenShift, but Kubernetes, Tanzu, AWS Outpost, Azure Stack. You'll start to see these things go back and forth between private cloud, on-prem, multi-cloud strategy, so forth. Yeah, you think everything is being deployed as code and positions are being labeled? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and on not only just the infrastructure as code, but the understanding of Git ops, Git flow, um, from all three of those jobs, right? From a software engineer to an automation engineer, infrastructure engineer to an SRE, right? Those all three need to understand how things work, how Git flow work, Git ops work, and so forth. So that they all kind of play a hand in the pipeline at some point of in that pipe in the process, right? So that's what I'm seeing. So again, AI is learning how to create itself. Humans have struggled to make truly intelligent machines. Maybe we need to let them create themselves. All right. So a little stick figure with a wedge shaped head shuffles across the screen and moves in a half crowd, dragging one knee along the ground. It's walking, well sorted, right? And it says, every day I walk into my office and open my computer and I don't know what to expect. It's just sitting there learning, right? And uh, you can look at this in many ways if you want to. But an artificial intelligence researcher at Uber, Wang likes to leave the paired open-end Trailblazer, a piece of software to he helped develop, running on his laptop overnight. Poet is a kind of training dojo for virtual bots. So far, they aren't learning to do much at all. These AI agents are not playing ghosts, spotting signs of cancer or folding proteins. They're trying to navigate a crude cartoon landscape of fences and ravines without falling over. And there's more to this. Looks like I probably need to subscribe, but I just want. I mean, I am subscribed to this. I just haven't logged in. I need to sign in, but I wanted you to be aware of what's going on in AI as we speak. Let me see if I get signed in and see if we get some more info on it. Hold on. I'm gonna sign in here. And let me know if you think this is interesting or not. I thought it was kind of interesting, just to see AI is learning itself. All right, here we go. All right. I want to see if they had a picture. You see, the article is rather long. How to create a brain. Time to train a new kind of teacher. It says the first approach invented separated by Wang and her colleagues at DeepMind and by a team at OpenAI. I don't know if you all are familiar with OpenAI. All right, here's OpenAI. Here's this startup fund, OpenAI Codex overview pricing, status login research, solving math problems, summarizing books with human feedback, um, improving language model behavior by training or curated data set. These are just some blogs. Scaling Kubernetes to 7,500 nodes. Um, and they go into an article talking about the workload and so forth and so on. You can check this out. Someone that may be interested in that. I'll give this link to D. I'll put it backstage. Yep, I heard of both of them. DeepMind. I actually get their newsletters, and as well as the newsletter for deep learning. Um, I think I still get Open AI newsletters as well too. I get a lot of newsletters, just to stay ahead of the curve and see what's going on. All right, so let me pull this over here. I'll roll this up. Let me make it bigger now before we get over there, because I'm gonna read straight from here so you can see this. 24. All right, that works. And let's pull my notes up right here. All right, let's scroll up. All right, you should be able to see this on the screen. All right, Apple talks on car development plans accelerated yesterday in a busy week for the EV sector. A report from Bloomberg suggested that the company is now targeting a fully self driving electric car to launch in 2025, uh, faster than the 5 to 7 year timeline that some engineers had expected. The ideal design for the car would feature no steering wheels or pedals, and in at least one mock-up, passengers would face inward towards each other. Shares of Apple jumped up 3% Thursday at a new all-time high. A quick snapshot of this is the general consensus on the initiative is that Apple will seek out a manufacturing partner. Wedbush Securities thinks a strategic alliance could be announced with Hyundai, Volkswagen, or others, while a partnership in China with Xpeng or NIO in terms of hardware. Taiwan Semiconductor has been touted as the partner for autonomous chips. While Apple has held discussion on battery options with contemporary Amperex technology and BYD company. All right, so watch out for Apple. This has been talks about it forever. Just know that that's coming around. All right. It is probably somewhat challenging to get access to GT3, but you don't have to. Again, you got to look at who uses it and how they're using it and what they're and where they're using it at. So if they're using GT3 to do something, right? How are they using it? How is security integrated with that? How are the pipelines built? What compliance are they meeting? So there's other things centered around that. Not you have to if you don't have those skill sets, you have to look at above what's around it, not above it, but what's surrounding getting something deployed using GT3, right? That would be my train of thought there. All right, I want to look at this link here in a minute. All right, Walmart has launched a new delivery service using autonomous drones after touring around with the technology for more than 6 years. Under a partnership with California-based Zipline, the nation's largest retailer will be able to transport health and wellness products to customers in Pea Ridge, Arkansas, who use Zipline app to place their orders. At full capacity, Zipline aircrafts can service a 50-mile radius, nearly the size of the state of Connecticut, and Walmart hopes that the platform can eventually make it to the products for more widely accessible use in the US. All right, so that's Walmart. Autonomous drones. I would look up Zipline, which we can look up Zipline. Um, but I also want to bring this up too. PAVE, the US Infrastructure Development ETF. So did you know that did I talk about this ETF? There was another ETF that I talked about. It was a fund that I talked about. Here's the US Infrastructure Development ETF, compelling the multiple catalyst, unconstrained approach. Um, a little bit more information here. Deacon dropped this in here if you all want to know more about it. And here's the top holdings for the ETF. Um, here's all the companies, right? It's a lot of companies in this ETF. And industrials, materials, utilities, information technology, and financials, and consumer discretionary, right? So check them out. Deacon drop that link for you. And let me move this back over. All right. So next thing that I have on here is BitDeer. 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 Okay. BitDeer is a crypto mining platform. BitDeer is set to go public through a $4 billion SPAC merger. All right. November the 18th. Today is the 20th, so it's pretty fresh. BitDeer said on Thursday it plans to go public by merging the blank check with firm Blue Safari Group acquisition in a deal valuing the cryptocurrency mining platform at $4 billion. Let's go and look and see if we can find some other info and then go check out their website. Going public. Who else has info? Okay, CoinDesk, of course. All right, so let's see. All right, BitDeer, which operates 5 current cryptocurrency mining data centers in the US and Norway. Um, In addition to mining centers, BitDeal provides tech and mining services for Bitcoin miners, including miner procurement, transport, logistics, mining data center design and construction, mining machine management, and daily operations. So they have services that they lend themselves out for um, to do this, right? So let's go check out BitDeal. Let's go look at their jobs. Uh-oh. And then like me. Sure. Whatever. All right, let's scroll down here. We got cloud hash rate support, about us. I may have to look up. I may have to narrow my search. Let's see. Let's look up bit deer. All right. Let's see. Bit Deer Group hiring software development engineer. Let's look. Responsible for technical architecture Business model, R&D, platform backend system, solve technical difficulties, perform tuning and project development, bachelor's degree, C++ and Go, solid foundation familiar with common data structures, algorithm, REST API, experience in distributed systems, proficient in distributed network and storage technology, computer engineering, computer science. That's what that falls under, right? Let's see. Do they have on this web page like salary jobs? Let's see. All right, they got a DevOps engineer, a senior penetration test engineer, a PHP developer, Java software senior Java software engineer, more DevOps engineer. Let's go look at their DevOps one. Let's see. Let me know if you can read this. Be sure you can read this. All right. Cloud architecture platform, public cloud architecture platform, operation and maintenance online platform, find and solve performance problems and bottlenecks. Um, let's see, familiar with Shell, Python, and scripting languages, master the management and daily maintenance of Linux systems, proficient in open source tools, Jenkins, GitLab CI, automatic release of CI/CD, Kubernetes Docker, deep understanding of system security, audit log analysis, fast growing, what you expect, fast growing digital asset service provider, chance to build up new things, personal accountability, attractive software package with welfare benefits, and change to grow your knowledge and career and internal and external training, mentoring resources. All right. So that's what they have. I'll give you this link in case you all are interested in those jobs because they wasn't easy to find. All right. All right. Bit dear. All right. So let me scroll past that one. I'm gonna go down here to Cyber Giant. Cyber Grants. Cyber Giants. Okay. So um, some of you may be interested. Cyber grants are a game changer. CISA leadership tells Congress the cybersecurity grants for state and local government authorized in a 1.2 million infrastructure package President Joe Biden signed into law this week to generally improve the postures of the entities that receive them. A senior Department of Homeland Security. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at local and state government need to beef up their cybersecurity. I don't know how many times I've seen on the news where some local city, some small city got hacked or what have you, right? Who's looking out for the little man, right? Like, what does that look like? So again, this is to help state and local. So that means forming your team and going after uh, contracts at the local and state level as well too. You don't have to just do federal. You may be good at local and state as well, right? So I wanted you to have this. You can read through this if you want to. It's no paywall or nothing for that. All right. Let's look at data software. All right, data software platform Semantics to become publicly traded on the NASDAQ via a merger with Alpha Capital. All right, Alpha Capital is a Latin American focused technology SPAC to merge this week. I should have talked about the Dow Constitution, but I didn't have time to do my due diligence on that. Latin America's first fully integrated data software platform is expected to have a market capitalization of approximately $1 billion. Semantics expects to have a net revenue compound annual growth of 57% between 2019 to 2023 and increase its customer base of 300 companies in over 15 countries. right? Check them out. Let me see. The Alpha Capital is ASPC on the Nasdaq. ASPC on the Nasdaq. Semantics has implied equity value of approximately 1 billion set to go public here. Let me see if they have a ticker for semantics. If it's just going to fall under Alpha Capital, probably just fall under Alpha Capital because I don't see any other ticker in here. Let me look here and go ticker. Under the ticker symbol sticks. All right, here we go. There it is right here. Yep, STIX. That is the ticker symbol for semantics. So if something that you're interested in, that's the latest and greatest on them. All right. It's my time. I got 15 minutes. All right. So, Community Preservation Corporation. I put this up here because there is a more so of a way to do preservation on your properties. Here is to help address the CPC established assets, acquiring capital, capacity, economic stability, and sustainability. Funded with 20 million from CPC, Access was created with the goal of empowering Black and minority entrepreneurs who have proportionately experienced barriers to entry in the development industry by providing funding, education, and other resources to build their capacity to compete in the marketplace. You may want to check this fund out and see if you can apply for it. But they're interested in capacity building programs such as borrow training, financial literacy, and helps first time entrepreneurs navigate the development process, subordinate soft debt, and this is again getting into being a developer in real estate. You may be interested in being a developer in real estate. Construction and permanent debt capital for projects smaller than those usually financed and equity. So again, check this out. They also have events and stuff that they've done. You may be open to this if you're looking for a way to develop a project or build a multifamily unit or a duplex or a couple of houses or something like that. Right? Want you to have that information. All right. I guess we could call this Obagi or Obaggy. Uh, Walden Cass announces a 1.2 billion three-way business combination with Obagi and Milk Makeup as a first step in a strategy to create a global multi-brand beauty and wellness platform. Walden Cass' ambition to build a global best in the class beauty and wellness multi brand platform by creating, acquiring, accelerating the next gen of high growth, purpose driven brands that can benefit from the platform's strong product and brand development. Um, Here's the talk about the CFO and CTO. It says transaction values Walden Cast at 1.2 billion and will be funded by 340 million of IPO cash proceeds, fully committed 330 million for purchase agreements. And he talks a little bit more about that. Um, if you're interested in Walden Cast and Milk Makeup, check it out. Again, a multi-brand strategy there. All right, so let's go back up here. And I'm going to read this. I'm going to make this a little bigger and then I'll read it. I'm going to bring it over. All right, Quantum. The new startup built a record 256 quantum computer. The name of that particular company is called QEra. They're based out of Boston. They have announced that it's 256 quantum simulator, a special purpose quantum computer built for solving certain types of problems. The demo is a moving is a demo involves a moving Mario made from qubits, and that's it right here, right in this picture. Um, so what does this mean? Guerra is the latest leap in scaling up quantum computing to make it more powerful and capable of tackling problems. More qubits means more information can be stored and processed. In 2019, Google announced that its 53 qubit machine had achieved quantum supremacy, performing a task not manageable by a convention computer. But IBM challenged that same year, and IBM launched a 53 bit quantum computer. IonQ revealed its 32 qubit system, and just this week, IBM launched a 127 qubit quantum processor, right? So let's check out Q error, see what they need. All right, so that's the team. Here go careers, DevOps engineer. And this is what I was talking about Q4 before, right? It's not about necessarily you understanding quantum computing. It's everything that's centered around quantum computing and the jobs and so forth. So you see here embedded systems, you see a DevOps engineer, you also see a hardware engineer, business development. They also have quantum operations technician. We'll go to second page. Electrical engineer, mixed signal and microwave, right? So it's all the other things that go around this that I that helps you out. This one here is an entry level for a software engineer. Let's look at that one. It's got a black background, so it may be a little harder to see. I'll blow it up. So took me off my page. Here we go. Proficiency in embedded C. We've talked about embedded C before. Proficiency in writing embedded drivers. I talked about this. Understanding how to write things for the kernel. Hardware debugging, standard electrical interfaces, UART, SPI, I2C, parallel, Ethernet, knowledge of fundamental triple E, double E concepts, a willingness to take on new challenges and multidisciplinary problems, develop firmware for real-time embedded systems. I guess you say Xilinx, I think that's what it's called. MPSOC PIC controllers, Arduino. You can pick up a PIC controller or Arduino board online really cheaply and start playing with that. Those are really cheap to get into if you're interested in embedded. Design and test Python and C drivers to integrate with existing timing systems, implement high speed. Again, you learn VHDL and Verilog in college. You learn about DSP and RF and SDR in college. PC breadboarding design. You learn that in college. So these are college graduates should be able to do this job if they were a computer engineer, even electrical should be able to get in on this as well too. Right, you should be able to get in on embedded C. Um, let's look up an Arduino board. Um, you don't have to go to Amazon, but you know, I think I spelled that wrong. So here's $38 for an Adreno IDE. Here, here's a whole kit. Like I say, if you were interested in doing something like that, you could. And you can see right here how they got this little kit right here, where they show you basically, how to program the board. Like you can literally take this and start playing with this and start creating sensors around your house to catch CO2, or you can create something to hey, at a certain time, I want you to you can hack something, program it and say make me a smoothie. You have to do the hard part is mixing stuff together, but you could probably hack a blender and remote control making your smoothie or whatnot, what have you. So just little things like that you can do that may be advanced, but turning on a light, turning off a light, opening a garage, creating another remote controller for your garage or something like that. You can do that with these type of boards and so forth, right? So that's what they mean. Again, experience with RTOS, real time operating system, or embedded Linux. And that's what Linux is considered, a real time operating system. Debugging hardware sounds just like it sounds. So if your computer crashes and you stick your USB thumb drive into your computer and it crashes, now you got to go troubleshoot. Why does this USB drive make my system crash? It could be a bad driver. So that's what they mean here, getting into drivers. Like when you plug in your USB or your HDMI, there's some driver in your system and in your kernel that recognizes that this is that particular, that I need to use this driver for this device. And that's what that is. So again, this gets back into kernel development. I've talked about this before, but that's what that is. All right. Um, and last but not least, let's look at that little DevSecOps. They're little, but you know what I mean. So here we go. Um, uh, Technical expertise relevant to deploying systems from on-premises data centers. And that's what I keep telling you all. Not everybody is just in the cloud. Again, you see here at this job, and this is a startup that we're talking about. They have some on-prem data centers to VPC. In other words, to understanding what a VPC is, if you're in Azure or if you're in AWS, right? Most people say VPC for AWS, but Azure has a VPC as well too, right? Including infrastructure as code, pipelines for compiled and interpreted languages, especially C++, C++, Kotlin, Julia, and Python. Development and monitoring of containerized and bare metal workloads, right? So containers, bare metal, uh, cloud, is you're everywhere with this particular. This is actually a good job. Engineering practices you employ to improve development productivity, ensure system reliability, recovery, minimize downtime, deploys, maintain system security. Again, DevSecOps, the security of the system, still gets back into I need to deploy an application, but the application itself, again, remember we talked about this last week, the supply chain of your code that you downloaded this code from in this Docker container, that supply chain of where you got it from may be corrupted. So you need to scan it. You need to take care of it, right? Protect user data and privacy. Have you taken on the challenges inherent in a commitment to continuous improvement? It's located in Boston, or really willing to relocate, or you're currently authorized to work in the U.S. So, do you now, or would you need sponsorship? There's probably a reason for this. I'm sensing some government money or something like that, or some partnerships, right? That's what I'm sensing, right? So here's that job. I'll give this to D in case it's a mid-level one, but actually a good job because it gives you the on-prem experience that I think a lot of times is often overlooked. All right, so where is my notes? Is it over here? Yeah, it's over here. I think I covered everything. Let me double check my stuff. Oh, no, I did. This last little part, which I can totally see. Disney, DIS, if you want to look up the ticker symbol. Disney has is talking about entering the metaverse, right? I can totally see that. A vision to use the Disney Plus platform for an immersive experience that several big companies have been investing in touting. While the platform wouldn't be limited to virtual reality headsets and goggles, it would blend our digital beings and our physical beings. Press for a better definition, Chapek said it would create a 3D canvas for creative storytellers to paint to create experiences that have otherwise been defined as a park experience, movie experience, or book experience. Now I went down the rabbit hole with the metaverse a little bit, and I was looking at say Travis Scott and his metaverse that concert that he did. He's been doing over the years, right? And his metaverse concert has gotten $20 million for those concerts. And we're going to start seeing more and more of these concerts, productions, skins, outfits, shoes. I would not be surprised if there are already beauty brands inside the metaverse, candles, um, just a number and slew of things when we talk about the metaverse. They're already buying up real estate in the metaverse. They're doing airdrops for real estate in the metaverse. Um, there's been money dropped. There's been coins dropped. So when we're looking at this, don't just think about it from the perspective of, oh, that's just Roblox and the kids are going to play. NASCAR, football teams, um, it'll be a whole different, be a whole different thing, right? Concert tours, people needing outfits, haircuts, uh different looks, different clothing, different sounds. I mean, just the list goes on. So when we talk about this, you have to look at it from that perspective. All right. And we got a show coming up at 2 o'clock. We got a guest coming on today. Have your resumes ready um, for our guest. Um, and you'll see who it is when we meet back up at 2. Yep, yeah. I talked about Nvidia and the Omniverse last week. Um, when we're looking at this, let me pull this up and I'll get out of here so we get ready for the 2 o'clock show. Um, um, Metaverse concert. Um, Let's see amount of money made. Let me see. And this one was from a clip. I just want to show you. Yeah, right here. Came out in 2020. Travis Scott reportedly earned 20 million from Fortnite event. Right. All right. So it talks about Scott's 4 month long 56 stop Astro World from 2019 garnered 53 million, or roughly just under 1 million per show. But his metaverse that he did got him 20 million, right? So with the things going on, don't be surprised if he starts going down that road. And other other people start creating stages and so forth around the metaverse and concerts and so forth. So just something to think about as we continue on. All right. I thank you for your time right now. We'll be back at 2. Appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share our content. Also, don't forget, you don't have to donate financially. You can always donate with your time. We are letting you up on the second show, so you don't have to come on camera. It'd be nice if you did, but hey, you never know what could happen. You never know what you may be interested in, what may take off. All right, take care. Catch you at 2. If I don't see you again today, I'll catch you on Wednesday. All right.